You're a lifesaver. No, literally, it's a lifesaver. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. Kaboom! I'm running out of exclamations, obviously. Anyway, today I am presenting episode 3 of my revamped Backtracks series, in which I talk about my favorite albums from 10, 20, 30, etc. years ago. And since we are filming this year's Backtracks videos in 2025, I am talking about albums whose release years end in the numeral 5. Last month we did 1965. The month before that, we kicked off the series with 1955. So today we are talking about albums from 1975. And yes, 50 years ago. It's hard to believe some of these albums are 50 years old, but they are, and that just means I'm getting old too. But aren't we all? Anyway, yes, as I mentioned in the last couple of episodes, these lists are going to be weird. These are my favorite albums, not the best albums of the years. And since I kind of consider that to be a prerequisite for albums I consider my favorites, I am limited to albums that I own on physical format in my collection, be they records or CDs. And so, yes, there are going to be a couple of records, albums that are not going to be on this list. It's just, it's not that they're really great albums. Not that they're not really great albums, excuse me, but, they're just ones that I don't like enough to own or haven't gotten around to listening to yet. That's going to be a thing. That's also a thing with the series is, there are only so many hours in the day to listen to albums, and you can't get to everything, even when you're somebody as old as I am. Anyway, as is the deal with a lot of ranked lists, um, the lists are subject to change based on your mood, and the further away you get from number one, the less seriously you guys are supposed to take each actual ranking. So, be that as it may, I my lists the last 2 months were 10 albums each. I was going to bump this list out to 15 albums, but I just found so many good albums that I had to bump it out to 20 favorite albums of 1975. And I'm also giving you 5 honorable mentions. So since we got quite a bit of ground to cover, let's go ahead and get started with my 5 honorable mentions in no particular order. First off, we've got Daryl Hall and John Oates, their self-titled album from 1975, obviously. Sarah Smile was the big hit off of this one. And yes, I'm not sure what is the deal with the cover art there. They kind of did this little glam rock thing, but the music is not really that. It might be a little bit more dance-ish oriented than the stuff that they became well known for in the 80s. But still, it's great. It's Hall & Oates. It's just great stuff. Hall & Oates are one of my favorite bands from the 80s. This was their third album, I believe. Yes, self-titled albums are usually an artist's first album, but in this case, it was their third, I believe. So, a very, very good album. Then we have Chicago 8. And yes, there aren't really any hits off of this one, any big chart hits, at least not that I can remember. But some great songs on here. Harry Truman is a good one. And Any Way You Want, I believe that may have been a single. Yes, this is the remastered version with a few bonus tracks. And good stuff, just not good enough to be in my ranked list. But then we have, and this one I'm kind of sorry I didn't put it in the ranked list, but there were just so many good albums. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. This was actually the first experience I had with Jeff Beck, was listening to this album, which I picked up 3 or 4 years ago. Very, very good stuff. One of the best guitarists of his generation, obviously. And yes, very, very good, excellent stuff. I couldn't pick out a good any songs off of my top of my head. It's produced by George Martin, who produced the Beatles. I'd forgotten that. Constipated Duck. That's a good song there. I might not remember what that song sounds like, but you kind of remember a title like Constipated Duck. Anyway, then we have another one I kind of am sorry did not make my list, ranked list, Kansas Song for America. And yes, it was slightly before their period of their biggest chart success, but still some very, very good songs on here. This kind of was back when they were a bit more in the proggish realm. The title track was really good. Lamplight Symphony, I like that one. And Down the Road, the opening track was really good. And then the final honorable mention is Frampton by Peter Frampton. Yes, I can't remember if this was his debut album or not, but obviously has the studio versions of Show Me the Way and Baby I Love Your Way. He goes a couple of different ways in this album. Anyway, yes, those two songs are probably my favorites on the album. But yes, a great musician who obviously achieved the greatest success with his Frampton Comes Alive live album, but still good stuff on here. So take a quick sip of water before I dive into the ranked list. Number 20 on my list of favorite albums of 1975 is Crisis, What Crisis by Supertramp. What were some? Oh, Sister Moonshine was a really good track. I enjoyed that one. Lady, I think, was another good one I remember. I sort of remember. I'm going to be real with you guys. It's been several weeks since I've listened to some of these albums because I've been preoccupied with stuff around home and all that stuff. So I was thought about giving some of these albums a re-listen, but I wanted to get this video out to you anyway. Yeah, Supertramp, Crisis, What Crisis? A very, very good album. And again, this was just before they kind of got into their most popular chart success. Very, very good, very, very good album. Number 19 is, we've got a little bit of country here. We've got Red-Headed Stranger by Willie Nelson. Yes, I have been, as the last 5 or 6 years have gone on, I've been getting a little bit more and more into Willie Nelson. And historically, I have never been much of a country person. But, Willie Nelson is just one of those exceptions. Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash basically are two exceptions to the I don't like country rule. But yes, lots of great, great songs on here. A bit of a concept album. What was the one? Oh, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. It's a great one. What was the other? I thought there was another one. Maybe I'm confusing this with a different album. But yeah, a great album. Willie Nelson basically in top form on that album. Number 18 on my list is Face the Music by Electric Light Orchestra. Yep. Between Evil Woman and Strange Magic, as well as Waterfall. That was a really, really good song too. Those three songs, just those three tracks, earn this album a place on the list. Face the Music by ELO, a great album. My 18th favorite of 1975. See, were there other ones? One Summer Dream, I think that one was one that I really enjoyed. But yeah, great, great album. Number 17, and this is one where some of you guys are going to wonder, why I ranked this one so low. And later on in the video, you're going to really wonder why I ranked some of these so high. But anyway, Toys in the Attic by Aerosmith. A classic album in the hard rock genre. The title track, as well as Walk This Way, Sweet Emotion. Sweet Emotion is one of my favorite Aerosmith songs ever. And Big 10-inch record. That was actually started out as a novelty song, and I guess one of the guys heard it. I think one of the guys from Aerosmith might have even heard it on the Dr. Demento show, and decided, hey, we should cover that song. And they basically did it as a straightforward cover. They didn't Aerosmith it. So yeah, Toys in the Attic, another excellent album from 1975. Number 16 is one that I actually, spoiler alert, or disclosure, I guess, listened to not too long ago for the first time, and I just really, really enjoyed it so much, obviously, that it is almost breaks the top 15 in my countdown. Cut the Cake by the Average White Band. And I keep having to remind myself that Average White Band is not American, they are Scottish. And they are such a great, great funk band that it kind of blows you away that they're actually not American. But yes, the title track is one of their most well known songs, and "If I Ever Lose This Heaven" was a great song. And despite the fact that their most famous songs are instrumentals, most of the songs on their albums have vocals in them. It just so happens that their most famous song, "Pick Up the Pieces," was an instrumental. So, but yes, a great album here. Schoolboy Crush was a good one. How Sweet Can You Get is a good one. And High Flying Woman, Groovin' the Night Away. Great album. Really enjoyed that one. Now, number 15, one of my few vinyl, or actually the only vinyl entry on my ranked list. And again, you're going to wonder why this was not higher on the list. It's just because, as I said, there's so much stiff competition. And, well, it's a long story, but Physical Graffiti by Aerosmith. Great album. And one of the ones that I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it. It's not on the list, and that is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. I have trouble getting into Pink Floyd, and I thought I wouldn't. Conversely, I thought I would have trouble getting into Led Zeppelin, and I didn't. That kind of goes to show you that the music you love, you can't really control what music you love, what music speaks to you, and the music that doesn't. And it just so happens that I actually have enjoyed Zeppelin overall much more than Pink Floyd. It's just haven't Pink Floyd haven't clicked with me yet. But yes, a great album, gotta say. And yeah, don't you love the cover? It's back when they really made put effort and thought into album cover designs. But yes, the I made notes because it would be difficult to remember. Uh, yes, Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and Kashmir obviously are my three favorite songs, and that is basically side two of the album. So, yeah, probably the only reason this album isn't higher on the list is just because more of the songs didn't really gel with me. But yeah, Kashmir and Trampled Underfoot especially are just they are absolute classics for a reason. So yes, that is number 15 on my list of favorite albums of 1975. Number 14, and yeah, we're starting to get into that's higher than Led Zeppelin part of the list. Gorilla by James Taylor. What can I say? James Taylor is just one of those guys his voice is just like an old favorite sweater or a comfortable pair of shoes, or almost like home in a way. Listening to his voice is just so soothing, so relaxing. And yes, a couple of great songs on here. "How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You," his cover of the Motown classic, excuse me, which was a big hit for him. And then we have a song called "Music," which is one of my favorites. And then "You Make It Easy," Mexico. That was a pretty good song too, as well. So yeah, two as well, in addition to as well as. Anyway. So yes, Gorilla by James Taylor, my number 14 pick for favorite album of a 1975. Number 13, and I'll be honest with you, this one is as high as it is because my sister was big into this group, and she had 6 of their albums in her collection that I inherited from her, and they only released 9 albums, so I went ahead and collected the rest, and they've remained a permanent part of my collection. We've got Steely Dan with their album "Katie Lied," and "Black Friday." The opening track is really good. It's one of the best opening tracks of any of the albums in today's list. Really enjoyed that one. And let's see, what were the other ones? "Daddy Don't Live in New York City No More." That was good. Oh, "Any World That I'm Welcome To." I really enjoyed that one. That was another favorite of mine. So, but yes, Steely Dan. This was what, their third album, I believe. "Katie Lied" is my number 13 pick. Coming up on number 12, I would assume not a lot of people would have an hard time with this being on the list. "Dreamboat Annie" by Heart, their debut album. Of course, "Magic Man" and "Crazy on You," the two big hits off this album, and I really enjoyed "Love Me Like." Excuse me. Yeah, "Love Me Like Music." I'll Be Your Song. Great song. Those of you who don't know, I have a soft spot for songs about music or that have the word music or something in the title, if you can understand what I'm saying. But yes, an excellent album and a great start to their recording career. Fantastic album. Dreamboat Annie by Heart is my number 12. My number 11 on my list. This may be the most recent edition, and yes, it jumped all the way to number 11, just because, hey, we're in the smack dab in the middle of the 70s. You can't expect to not have any disco on this list. ABBA with their self-titled album, and this was their third album, I believe. But yes, Mamma Mia, SOS, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, and I think those were the three big hits off this album. But yeah, and this was actually also the first ABBA studio album that I listened to all the way through. So yes, until now I just kind of been uh, getting by on their chart hits, but just didn't bother delving into a studio album until this few weeks ago. But yeah, an excellent album in the ABBA canon with just those three songs, just kind of carry the album pretty much. Um, Tropical Loveland was an okay song. Bang a Boomerang, I thought that one was interesting. And which one was it? There was one song on here, I can't remember which one it was, but it kind of almost had a rock feel to it, not a dance pop or disco feel to it. Was it Rock Me? Was that the song? I can't remember. But yeah, very good album. My number 11. Now, take another drink here real quick. We are coming into the top 10 of my favorite albums of the 1975. Some of these are going to be unusual picks. I'm warning you. Well, I warned you at the beginning of the video that this list is going to be a little weird. Number 10 is Mr. Magic by Grover Washington Jr., a classic jazz album from 1975. I've come to appreciate Grover Washington Jr. This album, I believe, was in my sister's um, collection that I inherited from her, and hadn't really bothered listening to him until I got her CD collection. This one and a couple of others were in her collection as well. But yes, just 4 songs on the album, as you can see. They're pretty lengthy tunes. But yeah, and I usually don't like the meandering, extra long tracks type of albums, but this one, he just kind of sucks you right into a groove, and you just go along for the ride. And yeah, that's what this album is. Just a great. Yes, Mr. Magic does his thing on this album. Yes, Earth Tones, which was written by Bob James, another jazz artist, and then the title track, and then Black Frost, which was written by Grover Washington Jr. and Bob James. Yeah, an excellent jazz album, underrated, I think, when it comes to all the other great albums that were released in 1975. Speaking of which, my number 9 pick is A Night at the Opera by Queen. And of course, simply between You're My Best Friend and Bohemian Rhapsody, that kind of put this album where it is. But I mean, so much other good stuff on here, like 39, that was a great song. And then Seaside Rendezvous, I enjoyed that one as well. And yeah, Love of My Life, I think was another one I really enjoyed. And I'm in Love with My Car. So, yeah, an excellent album by an artist. And this one, or maybe I'm wrong. I was going to say that this was the first full studio album of Queen that I listened to, but I might be wrong there. But yeah, it's a great album. What can I say? Well, most of you out there probably know how good that album is. A lot of you probably don't know how good, at least to me, my number 8 pick is. And like I warned you at the beginning of the video, this list is going to have some weird stuff in it. The Johnny Cash Children's album. Yes. What can I say? I'm a bit of a sucker for children's albums or albums with kid-friendly songs. Excuse me. My sister was big into those. She was a school teacher, and so she kind of gravitated toward albums of a kid-friendly sort. I have several from her collection that I keep in my collection. This was actually not one of them. This was one I discovered about 6 months ago, and I really enjoyed it. Just got such a kick out of it. And yeah, he's just wonderful. Johnny Cash is somebody you wouldn't think of as being the type to record a children's album, but this one is just so charming, so endearing from top to bottom. I gotta tell you, yeah, gives me a little bit of a Shel Silverstein vibes, kind of, sorta. In it, some of the songs were maybe a little bit have a little bit of irreverent humor in them, but are still, kids could listen to it and not be, shocked or uh, offended by them. Nasty Dan, One and One Makes Two, The Dinosaur Song, Little Magic Glasses, There's a Bear in the Woods. It's just, you've got to listen to this album to really appreciate it. And if you like children's albums, I mean, you have not listened to this one yet, I highly recommend it. But yes, the Johnny Cash children's album very much earns its spot as number 8 in my favorite albums of 1975. Number 7, we have kind of a no-brainer for a 1975 best albums list. Here we have Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John. Yeah, what can I say? You can pretty much pick, throw a dart at the track listing, and you'll hit a good songs on this album. The title track, and we have Someone Saved My Life Tonight, classic ballad. We All Fall in Love Sometimes, Tower of Babel. But yes, a great song a great album from top to bottom. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John. An excellent album from 1975, my number 7. And now number 6 on my list. Yes, I mentioned before the D word, disco. Casey and the Sunshine Band, their self-titled album. And my sister had a greatest hits of theirs in her collection that I listened to and enjoyed. She grew up in the 70s, so she was a disco kid. But yes, I found this album and another one of their albums in these super jewel cases from BBR uh, Big Break Records label, remastered with bonus tracks. Found them at, I believe it was Music Millennium up in Portland several years ago, and I had to pick them up. But yes, that's the way I like it. Get Down Tonight and Boogie Shoes are all on this album. So 3 big hits of theirs were on this one album, and that basically, those 3 songs just earned this album a spot in this list. Some people out there absolutely hate disco. I have a soft spot for it. What can I say? It's a not so guilty pleasure of mine. But yes, number 6 on my list is Casey and the Sunshine Band, self-titled album. How can you go wrong with disco, in my opinion? Anyway, number 5 on my list is I actually have represented here in a box set of their full albums. I don't have the actual CD or LP, but it is One of These Nights by the Eagles. And yes, it is represented in my collection with their Legacy box set. But yes, a great album. And my sister was a huge fan of the Eagles as well. And so that's one reason why I bought this box set. It was well worth the purchase. It's got all their live albums too. But yes, the title track, Lion Eyes, the Hollywood Waltz, I Wish You Peace, which was the closer. Great songs. But there was also a song that really caught my ear, Journey of the Sorcerer. And that was kind of like a really proggish instrumental song, kind of a thing, something I didn't expect from the Eagles. And yes, I have listened to this album before. For some reason, that track didn't quite, I guess it didn't leave a really lasting impression back when I listened to the album before. So, and yes, I call them the Eagles. I should call them Eagles, because you call sparks sparks and doves doves, but for some reason we call eagles the Eagles. That's an error, technically an error. They are officially called Eagles, just so you know. Anyway, that was number 5. Number 4 on my list, another can't not have it on this list item, Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. Yes, this is my friend Noah's favorite Dylan album, I believe. And yeah, it's just fantastic. So a comeback of sorts for Dylan from the first downturn in his career after his initial uh, popularity phase in the 60s. But yes, Tangled Up in Blue, Simple Twist of Fate, You're a Big Girl Now, Idiot Wind. Every song on this album is classic Dylan. You just can't deny it. It is a fantastic album. Very, very worthy of being in my top 5, for this list. Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. Coming up to the top 3 of the list here. My number 3 album, and this is another one that was in my sister's collection, and I grew very fond of it partially for that reason. Still Crazy After All These Years by Paul Simon. Yes, the title track, and then 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And I thought there was another song on here that I really enjoyed. Oh, My Little Town. That was a really, really good one. I Do It For Your Love. Silent Eyes, that was another really good one. But yes, Paul Simon is one of the classic singer-songwriters of America for a reason. And yes, this album is a really good example of why he is so revered and worthy of such reverence. But yes, Still Crazy After All These Years by Paul Simon, my number 3 favorite album of 1975. My runner-up for favorite album of 75, Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, what can you say about this album that hasn't already been said? Yes, Thunder Road, the great opener here. 10th Avenue Freeze Out is fantastic. The title track, Born to Run, obviously one of the big epic songs of the 70s. Jungle Land, a fantastic one. Backstreets, She's the One. I mean, the entire track list is just, you can't miss one of the ultimate examples of Bruce Springsteen's artistry and talent as a rock musician. Fantastic album. But there's one that's fantasticer. That's a word, right? Anyway, my number 1 favorite album of 1975 is Fleetwood Mac's self-titled album. Yes, I do this with every thing. Anyway, yes, Monday Morning, the opening song, is one of my favorite. Actually, that is, I think, my favorite opening track from any of the albums here. The what was the other one? Was consider that my number 2. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, yes, Monday Morning, fantastic opener. Then, of course, you've got Rhiannon, Say You Love Me, Landslide. Pretty much all the other songs, Over My Head. Again, put the track listing on a dartboard, throw a dart at it, you'll hit a great song. But yes, and this was, of course, some people think Rumors is the best album of their career. And I think it might be this one. I will have to re-listen to Rumors, but for now, this is my favorite Fleetwood Mac album in their discography, as well as my favorite album of 1975. So, what'd you think of that list? The comment section is down below. Tell me what you think I got wrong and what you think I got right. Again, lists are subjective. As I said, this was a list of my favorite albums, not the best albums of 1975. But that's what I enjoy about watching other people's lists, is seeing how theirs differ from mine. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this list. Got some surprises, heard some things you are not heard about, some things you're not aware of, and will maybe go listen to. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. As I said, I would love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon for my future videos, and hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.